All right, it's 2 minutes past 2, so I think let's get started with this webinar. Hopefully you guys can still hear me and see my screen. If anything goes wrong, please just let me know. All right, so once again, thank you very much for joining this webinar, registering. I know it's a bit of a crazy time in South Africa at the moment, but hopefully everything will get better. I really hope that you will find this webinar very informative and that you will learn something very new, even though there might be some things, 1 or 2 things that you already know. Hopefully there's something new that you find informative. This webinar is about BIM 360 and Plant 3D collaboration. Now, in the manufacturing industry, a lot of the manufacturing draftsmen or managers doesn't want to work with BIM 360 because they don't know how to work with BIM 360. So hopefully in this webinar, you guys can also see how they can collaborate with each other. My name is Tian Ravi. I am working for Baker Baines and I am the product design and manufacturing specialist here. All right, so before we start with anything serious or go into depth with anything, I would like to go through the agenda for this webinar. First of all, I would want to explain to you who Baker Baines is, who we are, what we do, what type of work we do, just for the people that doesn't know what we're all about. Then when it comes to the benefits, I would like you to ask yourself, how would you or your company benefit from having a BIM 360 docs or design and Plant 3D? All right, then we'll jump into the capabilities and I'll talk about how architects or engineers or contractors and extended project team stakeholders can collaborate to improve the project outcomes. Now, at the end of the day, this is an important part because I think in each company, in my opinion, everyone wants to improve the project outcome. They want to improve the time that they spend on projects and make the project better at the end of the day so that they can get more projects in and get more money. Then we get to the top collaboration challenges. Now with collaboration for Plant 3D, cloud-based collaboration is enabled directly between AutoCAD Plant 3D and BIM 360 design. Then after I've explained to you all of that and especially the collaboration challenges, we'll go to the solutions. How do we solve the challenges that we have in our company? And we'll talk about the security, team communication, and the project complexity, which is the main solutions that we have for those challenges. And then once we are done with the challenges, I'll give some time for questions and then we'll close. All right, so the first thing on the agenda is who is Baker Baines? Well, Baker Baines is a BEE certificate level 2 company. Baker Baines has evolved over the past 5 years from being an Autodesk reseller to a consulting company. And that's set out to solve customer problems through digital transformation, helping them design and make a better world. And in doing so, we offer various business process improvement consulting services, survey and design hardware and consulting, design software consulting, and this all topped off with a blended learning approach to how we believe our customers can or should digest their information. And also, if I move my mouse on the screen, hopefully you guys can see my mouse. Just gonna do this. CAD learning, I just want to jump into CAD learning as well. Now, what is CAD learning? Not a lot of the people that we know, that we speak to, knows about the CAD learning, and that's why I want to throw it in this webinar as well. CAD learning is an online portal that you can use on your own time whenever you have time available. So, for example, if you had training at our company, or if you don't have time to come for training, you can register or buy the CAD learning online portal and learn any type of Autodesk software. I think there's about 55 or plus software that you will have access to. So if you want to learn a little bit more about Inventor, do the advanced parts, and you don't have time during working hours, you only have time doing after hours, then you can go onto CAD learning, click on the specific link or topic that you need to know more about. Then what happens is a video opens up of a person explaining to you step by step what to do, where to click, and why, with a description area on the bottom. And then in CAD Learning, we have assessments that you can do as well. So where you can assess yourself, your company, your colleagues, to see at what level you are at in certain software. And then from there on, you can create a playlist and see where you need to focus on, which areas you need to focus on. Go back to CAD Learning and learn those specific areas. All right, then at Baker Baines, we consult in the following 5 different types of industries. So the first industry that we have specialists in is the build industry. Secondly, we have the civil industry. Then we have energy. Then the manufacturing industry, which I'm specializing in. And then there's also the process plant and mining industry. Now we get to Baker Baines Consulting. Now this is a part that we strongly believe in, and we believe each and every single company needs to do. iAdopt. iAdopt is a consulting methodology that helps our clients to develop and implement a digital strategy, to optimize the business processes and workflow, and then at the end of the day also adopt the technology. So what does this mean? This means that we will walk a journey with you and your company, where we assess, we educate, and we consult you and your company. Where we will come into your company and look at the processes that you have and the workflow that you do in how you work in your company. Then we will see, okay, these are the key areas in your company that you need to focus on more, or that you can better. And these are the solutions that we have. Then you can follow those solutions that we have, where we will educate you. So if we see that your drafting department in your company doesn't know enough about the software that they are using to better your company and to make your process or the productivity in your company better, then we will educate you, we will give you training. And then we do consulting as well. It's the adoption of the technology and processes. And the only intention we have about the iAdopt methodology is to help you design a better world. All right, guys, so that is Baker Baines. That's who we are and how we do things at our company and how we treat our clients as well. So let's jump right into it. Benefits. Why do I start with the benefits in this webinar? Well, I would like all of you online on this webinar to think or to look at the benefits that I'm going to read through you to now, and think how this might benefit you currently in your company, and see if you will be interested at the end of this webinar to adopt Autodesk Plant 3D and also BIM 360 design. All right. So the first benefit that we have with Autodesk AutoCAD Plant 3D and BIM 360 design collaboration is anytime, anywhere collaboration. Now, what does that mean? This means if you have someone on a mining site and your draftsman is sitting in Canada, he's working in Canada, you are here in South Africa on a mining site, you will have access to the design software or the project on your computer or on an iPad or on your phone, and see what changes that draftsman made in Canada and how it updates it, so that you can see on the mine site if it will work or not. And BIM 360 design enables the Plant 3D teams to collaborate and manage their data across the project lifecycle to improve the project outcomes, like I mentioned earlier. So you securely create and access Plant 3D files in real time. Right. The second one is visualize design changes. We can review the design development from any device, like I said earlier, with your extended team for faster, more efficient collaboration. So there will be no hunting for revision clouds anymore. So if you don't know what a revision cloud is, I will show you a little bit later in the video. But just to explain to you briefly, if an update has been made to a model, you review this model now. You need to show someone that this is the area that's being updated. You put a revision cloud in there. Now, for the review, part of the review process is a lot of the people look for the revision clouds to add notes or make markups. And like I said, no more hunting for them. They immediately pop up when a revision cloud has been added. So you see how new information will impact ongoing work to help streamline decision making and lines of approval. Right, and then the third one that we have is a single source of truth. So the centralized Plant 3D files and data management on a common data platform to reduce data silos and keep teams on the same page. Now, this is a really, really important part, I think, in every company. If you have two people in your whole project team that doesn't understand each other or doesn't understand what to do, the whole project will be delayed, and that will delay the project outcome as well and the process. So that's what we all are trying to avoid. Everyone in this or that's part of a project needs to be on the same page throughout the whole project. All right, so these are the three benefits that you will have with AutoCAD Plant 3D and also BIM 360 design. Now we get to the capabilities. We have 6 different types of capabilities, and I'll go into depth with each of them. So the first capability in BIM 360 design, well, BIM 360 design is a design collaboration and data management product. Data management is the important part there. A lot of the companies around the whole world doesn't know or doesn't manage their data in their company. And that leads to a lot of challenges in the company. And I'll show you a little bit later on what type of challenges or main challenges you will face. All right, and this is for the AEC types of projects. Now, what does AEC stand for? AEC means architectural, engineering, and construction. Now, architects, engineers, contractors, and extended project team stakeholders can seamlessly collaborate to improve the project outcomes. Now, the first one we get here is basic file sharing and data exchange. What does that mean? So you can share your active design documents with read and or write access and set the user permissions on a folder and a project level. Now, that's also an important part. A lot of the companies always ask us or explains to us that it's a challenge in their company, that they don't want everyone in the company or part of the project to be able to see what's been done in this project. So there's something in BIM 360 design that's called permissions. You can set your permissions to specific people or to the specific roles, or if there are 3 companies working on one project, you can specify and say the one company should have a full permission access to the project so they can edit, view, download, etc. And then the second company should only be able to view, but not be able to edit or download the project. You can set all of those permissions. That's the first one. Now, the second one we have is cloud-based design file and data referencing access. Now, cloud-based, yes, it is better working in the cloud. The reason for that, not too long ago, we had a client at an event that told us they broke into their company and someone stole their server. Now, that is extremely bad. You never want that to happen in your company, because what happens then? If someone steals your server, all of your information, all of your projects will be gone. You won't be able to get them back. So working in the cloud means you don't have to be at the office to work on specific projects or files. So you can be anywhere. You can be anywhere in the world and still have access to these specific designs. So it's a design collaboration in real time with remote, collated, or multidisciplinary teams outside company firewalls. Just like I said, if you have someone in South Africa on a mine site and your draftsman or your drawing office sits in Canada, you'll all have access to the same project at the same time on any device. Right. The third one we get is file compare. Now this is a good one, file compare. You can compare your file iterations and the sheet layouts. Either two options. You have a side by side, where if you have your original file and you made a change on that file, you can put them next to each other side by side and compare them to see what differences has been made to this file or to this drawing. And then the second one we have is overlay. Now what does overlay mean? When you put them on top of each other and you see, okay, so what stands out? That's what's being changed. Or that's the old version, and then I have the new version. So that is file compare. Then we have number 4, identify issues and create markups in the office or on mobile devices. Now we can allow, or you can allow your extended stakeholders, such as principals, project managers, etc., to review the design progress and follow up on outstanding changes. So if your, let's say, technical manager or your drawing office manager wants to see what's the status of the design process at the moment, then they can log on to BIM 360 Design and see what the current status is, who designed what, who changed what, at what day, what time, and then see the person's name as well. Then we get to data centralization in a single repository throughout the project lifecycle. This is where you can connect data throughout the project lifecycle, and that's to reduce the errors and increase the accountability, and also accelerate the project delivery. All right, so you can connect the data throughout the project lifecycle to reduce errors, so that it doesn't go back and forth the whole time. All right, you don't have to, this one person that won't say, I changed this, but when you looked at it, you changed something else, and then no one knows what really happened, and no one really knows who changed what. Right. And then the last one we have is approval workflow. This is where you can customize an automated review workflow that streamlines the review process. Now, companies work in different methods, and they all have different approval workflows, and that doesn't matter. And that's also why the customizable part is so important here. There might be people that, let me use an example. If the draftsman is finished with a design or the project, they would send it to the drawing office manager or the technical manager to review. After that technical manager, it will be reviewed by an engineer, and then the MD or the CEO will sign the project off. So if the draftsman sends the design to the technical manager and there's a problem, or he needs to make a change, he sends it back to the draftsman, he updates it and sends it to the technical manager. Now this you can all see on BIM 360. When is the design finished and who's busy reviewing it? Then after the technical manager is finished with this model, it's been sent to the engineer, where the engineer will look at all the technical parts, structural parts, and then if he's happy and he reviews, he approves, he sends it to the CEO to be signed off. All right, so that's the whole approval workflow. You can customize it as you want it. You can say who you want to the person to be to approve and sign it off as well. All right, then we are going to jump in the collaboration for Plant 3D part. All right, so with collaboration for Plant 3D, cloud-based collaboration is enabled directly between AutoCAD Plant 3D and BIM 360 Design, just like I said earlier. Now with this connection to BIM 360 Design, we have benefits. And the benefits of cloud-based collaboration is you'll have access to the latest designs anywhere, which means if an update has been made to the model on Plant 3D and you check it in, it will be updated in BIM 360 Design. And whoever needs to see it will see that that's the newest version, because it does show you what version the project is at the moment. You can specify from version 0 all the way up until wherever it needs to be, and see the different updates that happened. All right, then this also is on any device. Like I said, you can have access to BIM 360 design on your computer, on your phone, or on a tablet. Also coordinate drawings or models with automated managed project synchronization and improved plant project productivity, and that all are enhanced. Right, now in addition, the capability to share PNID data with Revit users are also maintained. We get this question a lot. Can you work with Plant 3D or PNIDs and at the same time have Revit and share them within or between each other? Yes, you can. All because you have BIM 360 design, because BIM 360 design both supports Revit and AutoCAD PNID or Plant 3D. Now, AutoCAD Plant 3D users can continue to share PNIDs with Revit users, just like I said, and take advantage of the improved design efficiencies. Now, what I mentioned earlier is what are the top collaboration challenges that most companies face at the moment? And that's what we will jump into right now. There are only 3, but it's 3 main challenges, and I hope that you guys can also see that, you know what, this might be in my company as well, so let's have a look at it. So how collaboration for Plant 3D on BIM 360 design solves top challenges. And again, as a reminder, the challenges that we're going to talk about are security and accountability. So will my data be secure? How secure or how secure is the cloud? Team communication. When it comes to team communication, like I said earlier, again, if you start or even before you start working on a project, does everyone in my team know exactly what to do, or was there a miscommunication between 1 or 2 people? Then we get project complexity. How complex will my project be? Will it be easy for everyone to do? Will there be a delay time because we have to sit and wait for a person that's on leave or that's not in the office? So let's jump into that. So the first one that we will tackle is the security and accountability. I need you guys to ask yourself the following 2 questions when it comes to the security and accountability. Are you concerned about who has access to your files? So let's say you are working on a specific file, but only you need to work on this file. You are scared that someone else in your company might have access to this file. What do you do then? Then the second question, are you concerned that members of your project team aren't pulling their weight? Is everyone in my team part of this project currently busy doing what they are supposed to do? Are they doing their job? And you can check all of that on BIM 360 design. You can see who was busy with what, at what day, what time, etc., and what the process or the progress is. Then we get to team communication. This is also a major concern. Again, there's a question that you need to ask yourself. Are you frustrated by working with other teams because you feel your design intent is getting lost in translation before the project even begins? Do you need to repeat yourself more than once when it's unnecessary, wasting time where you could have started with the project earlier and get the project out of the door quicker than what it's intended to be? Then another area of concern is project complexity. As noted earlier, projects are getting more complex and schedules are getting shorter. And when these factors aren't properly addressed, there's a negative impact on the overall quality of the project. So do you feel that short-term solutions have long-term repercussions that are detrimental to the projects you work on? So for example, if you are working on a project and it's late, you are behind schedule, and you need to ask a second and a third draftsman to jump in and help one person to finish this project quickly. The long-term challenge for this will be that both of those draftsmen are now behind with their own work. because the first project needs to be out of the door on a specific date. Otherwise, you will pay fees or fines because you are late with your project, and that's not what we want at the end of the day. But the long-term challenge is that now you are again behind with your second project because the second person had to jump in and help the first one. And we are all trying to avoid that issue and multiple others. So how do we solve all three of these challenges? Security and accountability, team communication, and also project complexity. Well, here are the solutions. The first solution that we will jump into is security, the permissions management. So you can manage your account and your project access for internal and external users. What does that mean? If you have someone in your team that's part of your company, you can still manage what permission level they should be put on. The same with external users. If you have a second company helping you design on this project, you can also put the permissions on them. There are up to 6 permission levels configurable by users, role, and company. Like I said, you can add the permissions to a specific user or to a specific role, or like I said, if there are more than one company working on a project, you can specify it to a company as well. So if your concern is a security, in BIM 360 Design, it gives you a great deal of flexibility to control who has access to your design data. It restricts users' access to certain folders with 6 available project-wide and folder specific permission levels. You limit access according to your user or the role or the company, and also control work sharing and design deliverable exchange with the assurance that the right information is in the right hands throughout the project. You want the right person to work on the right design every single time throughout the whole project before you are finished with it. And that also causes that there's no delay in your project or rework. The second solution that we have for team communication is the design review. So there you can see there's an example of a revision card already on that image that you can see there on the right side. A change has been made to this Plant 3D model, like you can see there. And someone put a revision cloud around that piece that they updated. So when you open BIM 360, you will immediately see there's been a change, and this is the revision cloud number that's been changed. So it's seamless project sharing and collaboration. You can view, comment, and do your markups as needed. And also then obviously streamline the review and approval workflows. So the concern here for the efficient team communication, you can use BIM 360 Design to ensure that your project team is always aware of the project's overall progress. We all want that to happen, where we ensure that everyone meets their milestones and their deadlines. So as soon as you see someone in your project or your company is behind schedule, you can immediately see that and let them know to do their work a little bit faster. And also reduce the time it takes to effectively review the design revisions. So no more back and forth. If there's a workflow or a process that needs to be followed, you keep by that. And then the third one we have is project complexity, a solution for project complexity where collaboration for Plant 3D. You share your project data securely with stakeholders. And if the concern here is alleviating complex projects by enabling members to better collaborate on designs, you can use BIM 360 Design to enable anytime, anywhere access again to Plant 3D projects. Now with this ability, you can extend the file collaboration to project teams in any location, so across seas. So if someone is in Canada, like I said, or in America or Australia, you sit here in South Africa, you can work like that, while centralizing efforts of distributed teams. You can also better allocate resources and assign the best team members with the most relevant skill sets to each project. So if you are working on a construction project, you need to make sure that the person working on this project has a construction background. Collaborate securely in real time on Plant 3D. with design files and external references in a common data repository. And also remote, like I said, collated and multi-discipline coordination, whether within one firm or across multiple organizations. Right now, next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show or share a video with you where I'll guide you through it and explain to you how it works and show you how BIM 360 collaboration for Plant 3D works. This is just a little bit of an overview. All right, so let me start this video quickly. All right, so first of all, what you need to do is create a project profile. So in the project profile, you will specify the name of the project and select a permission level, like you can see there, and add a person to this project. The project will be uploaded to the cloud. Check the file in from Plant 3D or your PNID that you've been working on. You update your model in Plant 3D, like you can see there. You check it back into BIM 360. Specify your layout drawing to see what it's going to look like. Add a bill of material if it's needed of the design that you are working on. Check that in as well. All of this updates in BIM 360, like you can see here now. I want this to change. It should be 5 inches, and I make a revision cloud in BIM 360. So the person designing this will see it immediately. Go back to Plant 3D, update the model, change it to 5 inches, save it, check it back into BIM 360 design, and it's done. Right, so that was a quick little overview just to see how Plant 3D and BIM 360 can work together and how easy it is to see the changes, see the model, and go back and change it, check it back in or upload it to the cloud, and it's done. Everyone can see at the same time what's happening with this project. Now, the next part of the video is the project creation. How do we create a project? And this is all within BIM 360 design. So first of all, I'm going to sign in here with my Autodesk account details, with my email address and my password. All right, sign in. Now we are in account admin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a project name, the project type, which is a water supply, and add an image if you have one to the project image. I'm going to activate a few users for document management. Let's add a user there. Activate another user for project management. I'll do the same user again. Activate and then do a design collaboration person as well. Save, activate. Right, then I'm going to finish. You get an email from Autodesk saying that you add this person or that you've been added as X, Y, and Z. Then I'm going to add the project members, the people that I want to work on this project with me. Just type in their names or their email address if it's needed, and you add them. So you can see these are the different types of people. We only have one project admin, usually. Right, it's preferred to only have one. Like you can see there's only one project admin, and that's it. Coming to Plant 3D, I'm going to open the project that I want to work on, which is a BIM for water. Open the PNID that I'm working on and share the project in the cloud. I'm going to share this project with my other team members so that everyone has access to this project. Where's the one that I created? There you go. You can upload the project. Right, it's uploading to the cloud now. All right, there you can see the updates already happened there. And that's part number 1 of how to create a project. So you can see how quick and easy it is already. No more back and forth sending by email or on a Z drive or shared drive to team members that doesn't have access to them. Or if you are off-site, you always have issues with, let's say, a VPN that doesn't want to work or connect so that you have access to the shared drive. You can do this all on BIM 360. The only thing you do need is internet connection. And then the last video, which is the getting started part number 2, is the collaboration tools with BIM 360 and Plant 3D. So I'm going to open up an ID drawing here and set my permissions where I'm going to add a new person. There you go. Set the permission level for that specific person to folder control. So he has full access, just like the admin user. Add another user here, permission level. I want this one to be view, download, upload, and edit. A little bit less. And then another user here, which I only want permission to view only, not edit, upload, nothing, only to view this project. Now coming back to Plant 3D, I'm going to open the collaboration project, open for water, open it up. Right, there you go. I'm going to go to my PNID drawing that's been created. So now you can see here I have different tabs in my project manager browser here on the left side of my screen as well. So when I open my PNID, it's been checked out of BIM 360 now because you are currently working on it. You can make your changes. When you are done with your project, you need to go check it back in for the other people to be able to work on the project as well. When one person is working on a file, it's been checked out of BIM 360, you can view the model, but you won't be able to make changes on that model at the same time while it's being checked out and another person is working on it. Now, at the end of the day, that's what we want, because we don't want two people to work on the same model at the same time, making maybe the same change or a different change, and then save it, and it doesn't pick up the other changes. That's what only allows one person to work on one drawing at a time. But like I said, you can view it, mock up, do your mockups, but not edit at the same time. All right, then we want you guys to start collaborating today. So this is a bit of a summary. So in this diagram, you can see here on the left side, AutoCAD Plant 3D. These are the users that I have working in Plant 3D. So I have a plant designer on the top. There's a CAD technician, a PNID drafter, piping designer, mechanical engineer, and a third-party contractor, which is external. All of them have different roles, like you can see here. Then on the right-hand side, we have BIM 360 design, where we have a cost estimator, construction planner, a plant manager, BIM project or technical manager, a civil and environmental engineer, structural and electrical engineer, consultants, and a project owner. All of them, left and right, so AutoCAD Plant 3D and BIM 360 design can work together on one project within BIM 360 design. All right, so if the left side works on the design and then make changes, the people on the right side can see those changes, but not necessarily make updates, or they can maybe just view them, do a markup, redline, see the revision clouds, and send it back to them for an approval process. So to summarize, Autodesk offers two unique tools that work together to improve design collaboration. Now, for the AEC design teams who need to access the design data to review or to mark up and interact with designs, we offer BIM 360 Docs. It provides centralized projects design information, and it makes it easily accessible to extended team members. For BIM 360 Docs, it is a cloud-based document management solution that provides teams with the ability to publish, manage, review, and approve project information on a common data platform with unlimited storage. All right, there's no limit. You don't have to go clean out your project or delete some stuff and add new things. Unlimited storage. You can save as much as you want with anytime, anywhere access to the latest information. Now, teams can reduce errors, make informed decisions, and improve the project outcomes. BIM 360 Docs lets you securely publish and distribute construction drawings, documents, and models in a single cloud-based repository. So everything you can think of that you want to do with your project, you save in one location. And all these different people across the whole world that works on your project has the same access to the same location. For designers who leverage Plant 3D, we offer BIM 360 Design, which we've discussed throughout this whole webinar. Built on top of BIM 360 Docs, BIM 360 Design enables civil design teams to work in a connected environment, regardless of user location. Right, so that was the webinar, guys. I'm gonna have a few questions here for you guys. I already see there is one question. Can you share BIM IDs from Autodesk AutoCAD Plant 3D with any Autodesk Revit user? Well, yes, you can. In the webinar earlier, I did mention that when you have a Revit user in your project, you can share, or if you work on a BIM ID, let's say you have two users, the one user is working on a BIM ID, and the second person is working on a Revit. You can share your BIM IDs with them to view or to work on. If you don't have BIM 360 Design, it would be much more difficult for you to do exactly this. But because they both use BIM 360, it's very easy for them to just go onto BIM 360 and look at the specific drawings that they need to know. Right, so the next slide that I would want to show you guys quickly before I leave is, this is me. My name is Tiana Rabi. If you need any assistance in Inventor, AutoCAD, or Vault, you can always contact me. You will see the contact details of the company, which is 011-568-2060. You can find me on LinkedIn as well. The reason for that, we share all of our webinar information, our events information, our promos, everything on LinkedIn. So you can go follow me and have a look at all of the new information we have about the company and Autodesk products. Then the webinar recording. So this webinar is recorded and will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. All right, and that means all of our webinars that we've previously done has also been uploaded to our YouTube channel. So if you need to know a little bit more about something specific, go onto YouTube and look if you can find that specific webinar presented by that specific person and look at the webinar and hopefully it will help you. Then we have Baker Baines support, which is free if you are a customer of us. So if you're a customer, you will get Monday to Friday free support from 8 till 11:30 every single day from Monday to Friday. We do, however, not see how-to questions as support. So as soon as you call us and you ask me, Tian, how do I create a pipe in Plant 3D? I will not be able to help you with that, but that's also why we have CAD Learning. You can also send your support request to support@bakerbaines.com. And then the important part as well, you can find us online at these specific online platforms. We are on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also YouTube, like I mentioned a little bit earlier. And that was the webinar. I appreciate all of you guys joining this webinar, that you registered. I hope that you found it very informative and that you will maybe ask yourself the questions that we did ask in the webinar. Assess yourself, assess your company, see if you might want to use this or need this in your company, and let us know, give us a shout. Thank you very much and have a very good long weekend.